Well, for the first time in 2 years, American beef is back in Japan. But as we record this, it's sitting in a Japanese port waiting to be unloaded after the discovery of a piece of bone that under new Japanese trade guidelines is unacceptable. And if you're wondering why this would even matter to most folks here in Oklahoma, consider this. Up until 2003, Japan had been one of our nation's biggest beef customers. But with the discovery 2 years ago of mad cow disease in Washington state, that all ended. And what has transpired since then has often had more to do with politics than with food safety. Here's our Bendele.
Nearly 2 years ago, U.S. beef exports were taken out of many Asian marketplaces, but now with markets reopened in Japan, Hong Kong, and as of last week, Korea, the question remains, will Asian consumers buy U.S. beef?
Well, there's tremendous pent-up demand for U.S. beef, so we're working very aggressively in this area to get back our rightful market share, and it's going to take some time, but we're up to that task.
If you look at what we were doing pre-BSE levels, we just had a roaring demand in Asia for our products, including Japan, and we have to rebuild that up, but we're very confident consumers will believe in our product once it's on the menus and on the shelves, that the take-up is going to be quick.
Reopening their borders to U.S. beef may also diffuse a brewing trade war between Japan and the United States. In testimony before Congress, Secretary of Agriculture Mike Johanns told lawmakers safety measures may not have been the only reason Japan placed trade barriers on U.S. beef.
We have heard your concerns loudly and clearly, and we share your frustration that too often sanitary and phytosanitary trade barriers are used unjustifiably to block market access. I assure you that the USDA, both in Washington and our attaché offices around the globe, we place top priority on these issues.
For producers, this means more added money for their cattle than what they would get by just selling in the United States.
Our export markets are so important, particularly Japan, because pre-BSE in 2003 they were our #1 export market for beef. And what this has meant for us is a lot of our products that we don't consume here and that we're not able to capture as much value for here in the United States, we're able to capture much greater value overseas.
However, it won't be easy to reestablish a marketplace, as Japan will only accept beef from U.S. cattle no more than 20 months of age.
We've developed new cuts. As you know, there's going to be a limited amount of cattle going to Japan, so we've developed over 17 new cuts that we think we can introduce in Japan that will help us proliferate our sales. So there's been a pretty concerted effort on the trade and the consumer side as far as preparation for the Japanese market. Before
the single case of BSE, U.S. beef exports to Japan, Hong Kong, and South Korea estimated close to $3 billion. Since then, the United States has regained 82% of its beef export markets, adding value to Oklahoma's beef industry.